St. Louis County Police have taken over the investigation of a shooting by a Ferguson police officer that left a teenager dead. It happened at the Canfield Green apartment complex in Ferguson.
For a second night of unrest with the death of Michael Brown.
Oh God!
Police in
From CNN to Twitter, every day you can expect to see the latest on Ferguson, Missouri, the St. Louis community in the midst of a highly publicized local change after the death of Michael Brown in August 2014. However, to many St. Louisans, the public spotlight may have hindered the nation's view of their city rather than help it.
When you look at national media, it shows that as it's, the entire city's burning down. So it sucks that that's the national view of it. But when you come down here, they need to focus on the peaceful protest that has been happening rather than the riots that took place.
But I don't believe St. Louis I don't think that's the representation of St. Louis as a whole. There are bad apples in whatever city you go to.
I heard somebody say they got off an airplane, they expected the city to be burning. It's not. You're not going to find the city burning. You may go to Ferguson, and from here to the front of that building, it's chaos. But you got to fill that with something positive. And if you don't, you're just opening yourself up to eat the wrong thing and put it back out.
I think with today's media, we have infinite sources of information, and so it's not actually a full spread of information, and so there's just, you take everything with a grain of salt, understanding that you're not seeing the full picture.
Ferguson is complicated. You have to consider the historical context of the St. Louis area.
WGRZ TV reporter Danny Spiewak was able to connect his hometown of St. Louis to Buffalo, New York from behind a journalistic lens.
So I did a story comparing Buffalo and St. Louis, and then what Buffalo could learn from what was happening in Ferguson, and kind of putting Ferguson into context too. I think a lot of people nationally didn't understand the makeup of St. Louis, the history of St. Louis, and I think they were sort of just pigeonholing things into kind of this fantasy that they had created of the St. Louis area that may not have been true.
Today's fast-paced social media influence also opens up many opportunities for misperceptions of mass information.
Anyone on Twitter can say anything, and if it gets retweeted enough times, it becomes fact, even if it's not. So I think the biggest challenge for the media will be to kind of weed out the journalists from the non-journalists, weed out the nonsense on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everything, and just sort of get back to the basics of what it's supposed to be.
Despite a time of social adversity and national attention, there's one theme that resonates loud and clear within the St. Louis community.
St. Louis is home for me, I know that much.
It has that really homey thing that just kind of anchors people, for better or worse.
I'm Lillian Donahue reporting for Ladue View.